It was Friday in October during my junior year. My friends and I had just finished lunch and we were hanging out by the school football field, trying to waste some time before our next class. We thought we were slick, skipping a few minutes, joking around, just being dumb teenagers. And that's when the lockdown alarm started. It blared across the whole campus. This is a lockdown. I repeat, this is not a drill. We froze. At first we laughed nervously, thinking it was just another test. But then we saw teachers sprinting towards the doors, shouting at students to get inside. Before we could reach them, the heavy metal doors slammed shut. Panic set in. We were outside, completely exposed. Sirens wailed in the distance, growing louder. Police cars pulled up in the parking lot, blocking off the school's main exit. An officer pointed at us and yelled, "Get down behind the bleachers now." We scrambled, pressing our bodies against the cold metal. That's when we saw him. A man in a grey hoodie, pacing near the back entrance of the school. And that's when we noticed something in his hand, a long kitchen knife. My heart dropped. His head twitched from side to side, and he muttered to himself words we couldn't understand. His movements were off, like he wasn't fully there. My friend whispered, "Dude, he's not right. He's not even looking at us." The man walked up to the door and pressed his forehead against the glass. He stood there, breathing heavily, tapping his knife against the metal frame. Minutes felt like hours, then suddenly he dropped the blade onto the pavement and sat down, rocking back and forth. Within seconds, officers swarmed him, shouting commands. He didn't resist. Later, we found out he was a former student who had dropped out years before. He had been struggling with severe mental health issues and had shown up at the school confused and unstable. Or at least that's what the principal says. Nobody was hurt, but I'll never forget the helpless feeling of being trapped outside, watching him pace with that knife, wondering what would have happened if he had spotted us and the cops hadn't arrived so quick. Back in 8th grade, I was in the library during 3rd period. I remember because I had 2 friends with me, Emily and Jordan. We were supposed to be working on a project, but we were just whispering and laughing at dumb memes on Jordan's phone. And that's when the announcement came. The librarian, Miss Klein, dropped everything and ran to the door, locking it tight before pulling us towards the back. We slid under the long wooden tables in the library, crouching in silence. At first, it was just the sound of our own breathing. Then, footsteps. Fast, heavy footsteps pounding down the hallway. They stopped right outside our door. The handle rattled violently. Someone whispered something from the other side. A low, angry voice we couldn't understand. Emily gripped my hand so tight it hurt. We all held our breath as the person jiggled the handle again and again, then slammed their fist against the door. After a few agonizing seconds, the footsteps took off down the hall. We sat frozen until the police gave the all clear almost an hour later. That's when we found out the truth. A man had slipped in through a faulty side door that didn't have a latch. He wasn't armed, but he'd been shouting for someone. No one knew who. By the time officers arrived, he had vanished. He escaped the building before they could catch him. We never got answers. The police never released his name or even a description. He was just gone. Sometimes I still wonder who he was looking for and if he ever found them. Senior year, 2nd period English. We had so many lockdown drills that semester that when the intercom clicked on, we all groaned. "Lockdown. This is a lockdown." Everyone started sliding down their desks to sit on the floor. We thought it was just another boring drill, but then we heard it. 3 loud bangs. Not books dropping, not fireworks, but gunshots. The whole room froze. Our teacher, Miss Harris, turned pale. She shut off the lights, crouched with us, and whispered, "Stay quiet, don't move." Then came the footsteps, fast, pounding down the hallway. Someone shouted something we couldn't make out, followed by another loud bang. Some of the girls started crying. We sat there for what felt like an eternity, until the SWAT team cleared the building. It turned out one of the students, a senior I barely knew, had brought a gun to school. He fired a few shots into the ceiling before the police arrived. Nobody was hurt. Later, we learned he had been dealing with years of bullying, family problems, and depression. Instead of prison, he was sent for psychiatric treatment. That day changed everything. Lockdowns weren't fake anymore, they were real. And every time the intercom clicks now, my stomach drops, remembering how close we all came to a different fate.